Cupra's offensive bears fruit. The Cupra Born is launched, named after the El Born district in Barcelona. Welcome to Spain and welcome to the launch of the new Cupra Born. It is the third independent car from the Spanish brand. However, this car is powered purely by electricity and is, so to speak, the brother of Volkswagen's ID.3. So it also has similar technology. In my opinion, the car looks great. For example, there is now a very interesting light signature at the front. There are large air intakes that signal a lot of dynamism, and of course there's the copper color, which you can find here in the logo, in these letters and also at the bottom of this spoiler. The car is quite interesting and will answer the questions of what power it has, what range it has and what goes in it. So here we go. The MEB, Volkswagen's modular electric vehicle system, makes it possible. T's a fun car and that becomes clear after the first few kilometers. The power output of 204 horsepower is absolutely sufficient, especially as propulsion is immediately there. In my opinion, the suspension is relatively firm even in comfort mode, and some people might say, well, that's pretty hard. But people who buy a Cupra naturally want to drive sportily and the car shouldn't move much. So there are a few settings in the menu, for example range, where I can control the range a bit, maybe even extend it. Then there is comfort, which would not be my setting. Then there's performance, which makes the whole system a bit sharper, a bit firmer, a bit sportier. The steering is a bit more direct, so you can drive beautifully on country roads. That brings a lot of driving pleasure. And of course there is another setting, here individual, where you can set various parameters yourself, just the way you want it. I find that quite good. It is easy to handle, precise and safe around bends, which is a big plus from me. The slow motion shows a slight understeer, which invites you to take corners safely, and the Cupra Born has rear-wheel drive, which I personally like very much. As far as the instruments are concerned, there are two displays. Firstly, there is a 5.3-inch virtual cockpit where you can read everything you need to know about driving, including, of course, the remaining range when it comes to the battery. On the right-hand side there is a 12-inch monitor. Everything important can be set there. I can adjust my chassis there, operate my GPS, all the important charging stations are in there. So I find everything important in these two instruments. The system is started with the Spanish word hola, meaning hello. The new Cupra Stromer is also an eye-catcher in the city and very easy to drive. Some will ask, how does an electric car like this drive? And well, no different from a diesel or petrol engine, it's very quiet here of course, and in the city that's very pleasant. You have a very high torque. You can accelerate quickly. You don't have to shift up and down. So this is a car in its own right. A novelty in this class is certainly also its optics. The Spaniards have put a lot of heart and soul into every line. Full LED and possible 20-inch wheels complete the picture. The sporty claim is also clear at the rear. The interior has a sporty look with many copper applications. A dominant 12-inch monitor and two driving modes can be selected here, sailing or recuperate. Copper-colored stitching and chic details complete. The bucket seats offer plenty of support in corners and comfort on long journeys. Also inside, this car offers plenty of space, in my opinion. I am about 1 meter 77 tall and have enough headroom. But I think at 1 meter 90 or more it gets a bit cramped in the back. There's plenty of legroom for me, so I think you sit very comfortably in the back. Under the bonnet, of course, there's no engine, but there are components for heating and ventilation. You can refill your wiper water and there are also some fuse boxes. The installed engine in this car here has 150 kilowatt-hours of power, so around 204 horsepower and 310 newton-meters of torque are produced. This means that the car can sprint from 0 to 50 in just 2.6 seconds and from 0 to 100 in just 6.6 seconds. Cupra gives the electric range according to WLTP as around 420 kilometers. That's quite a lot. As far as design is concerned, I have to say that the rear end is also really successful. There is a rear spoiler, a kind of tear-off edge. Then there's a very nice strip of lights. It looks really smart at night and there is a diffuser. It shows that you're driving a sporty car, and this thing also creates a bit of downforce on the rear axle. The copper color on this logo and also on the lettering is beautiful. That's part of the Cupra design, of course. This thing has a double function. You can look into the boot, which has a capacity of 385 liters and 1,267 liters when the backrest is folded down. Another nice feature is this little flap. Maybe you can hide the charging cable there. The battery has a net capacity of 58 kilowatt-hours and can be quickly recharged to 80% capacity in around 30 minutes. The top speed ends at 160 kilometers per hour. Some of my colleagues think there's a fair amount of hard plastic here. Yes, why not? An electrically powered car should always be light. Because little weight, means a lot of electric range. I can add another 200 to 300 kilograms of insulating material, but then I'll have relatively little range. Very important for me, it should look good. It looks really sporty and good. In my opinion, the Cupra people have done a really good job.
Ja, zum Schluss meine Meinung zu diesem neuen Cupra Born. Also ist ein sehr
Finally, my opinion about this new Cupra Born. It's a very interesting car and it proves that electric cars don't have to be boring. It looks sporty and it is a real sports car. The basic car is supposed to cost €37,220, but you should keep in mind that there is a government subsidy for electric cars of about €9,000 and then it is worth buying such a car. So that's it. By the way, it is only €260 more expensive than a comparable VW ID3.